Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, checking out some more Slowburn beer. It's been a while since I checked out some Slowburn, but I've reviewed a good amount on the channel. If you guys don't know them, they're a small Danish brewery, fairly new on the scene. They do a lot of mixed styles, which I love, and they have a fondness for doing lagers, which is amazing. One of their first release beers was Octopils, which is a great pilsner. I have another can in the fridge from them, a can of their Bitterblumen, not German Pils, which I'm really looking forward to be trying. And their Waldpilsner I also had was so dope. So yeah, I like they do stuff like that. But they also do West Coast IPA, which is what we're checking out today. I will say I've already had this one, so I know what it's like. But because I did a virtual beer tasting where I tried this for Aalborg Organ Metal, but you know, I thought this was really good and definitely deserving of a review. And also because not a lot of Danish breweries do West Coast IPAs. There is a few that do them once in a while, but most, you know, it's haze. So it's nice to see if there's a few select that try to do this style. So this is Slowburn Brewing Company's, or Slowburn Brewing Co-op's King Sequoia, a West Coast double IPA. Look at that artwork. That's amazing. Huge redwood from up in the north of California, like, you know, north of San Francisco and whatnot. It looks pretty damn dope. I love their very, you know, natural looking, or the nature kind of like theme with all their artwork with flowers and trees and animals and whatnot. And with the watercolor thing, it looks very good. So yeah, looks very nice. This is a double IPA on 8.5% featuring Columbus, Simcoe, and Centennial hops. Very, very old school. It's a dry hop double IPA as well, so it should be a bit popping. They say themselves citrus, pine, and bitter, which is what I like. And it's super fresh. This was packaged on the 29th of March. We have the 10th today. So yeah, what is that? That's like 12 days or so, maybe 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. Super date, or, you know, fresh beer, which is awesome. So that's what happens, you know, when you don't go nuts and trading for these kind of beers from the States and whatnot. It's actually quite easy to get at home, and a lot of breweries do make some stuff that's really close to the real deal. But let's have a look here. So pours a nice color. I mean, it's actually quite hazy. When I just poured a little bit in the beginning, it looked, you know, a bit more clear. It looked more like a West Coast IPA that was just slightly hazy, but with the yeast in the can, just the last bit here, it looks a bit too hazy for the style, but otherwise, it looks like a nice West Coast type, lightly hazy West Coast IPA. It's got a white head, and the color is, yeah, it's like a golden orange vibe. Looks a bit more amber on camera, but yeah, let's check out the aroma. It smells really nice. It smells like new school West Coast a bit, because it's quite bright and fruity. I'm getting loads of like sweet citrus, like orange and tangerine. It has vibes that reminds me of like Stone's Ruin 10, because that was like really sweet citrus forward. It almost smells like there's citra hops in here actually, but there isn't. But Simcoe can also give sweet citrus. I know that. And also Centennial. It's like that oily citrus rind you got in West Coast IPAs. But there's also some uplifting bright pineapple, which I'm guessing is from Simcoe. And yeah, there's definitely some pininess and whatnot underneath, but it has like super jammy, kind of marmalade-y orange things too. It's like it smells dead on for the style. Probably the best smelling West Coast IPA they've done so far. I mean, Shoulders of Giants was nice, but the aroma on this is so nice. Man, it smells really good. It smells like it's dry too. Almost like hints of passion fruit. Wow. Yeah. Smells dope. Let's try it, guys. Cheers. That's a really good West Coast IPA. And I love how bitter it is. The only thing is it doesn't say the IBUs on the can. It's a bit of a shame, but man, this is good. It's fun thing is it almost reminds me of drinking an Amaboku's IPA that they did, you know, a few years ago, like around 2012, 13, 14, something like that, when they were doing a lot of these West Coast IPAs with big fruity flavors, and that was bitter, and you used loads of Sriracha Ace and all that. It reminds me a bit of that. Like, it's got a lot of fruitiness. Lots of, like, pineapple-y, and as I said, like, sweet orangey flavor, tangerine citrus flavor. really tastes like a new school West Coast IPA. If I had to compare it, again, like, it reminds me a lot of the, from the top of my head, the Ruin 10 version of Stone's Ruination, because it was a more fruity, slightly tropical version of Ruination, because it has like slightly tropical vibes with that kind of pineapple thing, which is really nice dry bitterness. Man, more of this slow burn, more stuff like this. New school kind of West Coast IPA. I'd love for you guys, if you did like a Nelson West Coast IPA, oh, I would dig that. Like a tribute to Alpine Nelson or something. Just like Alpine style, old school Alpine style West Coast IPA. That'd be amazing, because this is, it's in that vein. It's like very fruity but also bitter and slightly piney and resiny. But all those, flavors are it's more undertones. The fruitiness is what's, most prominent. It's like also like very dry and very bitter. It's a very good double IPA. I also really, like it has that classic also candied orange kind of flavor, like the marmalade orange flavor you often get in some West Coast IPAs, but also like oily citrus, like pith and rind. It also has classic grapefruit flavor and pine. I've missed this style so much, and when you get something like this where it's done really right, it's really good. It really reminds me of something like when Stone was on their peak or something, but slightly more new school when they started doing the enjoy buys and whatnot. I don't know if it's kind of, I think Beechwood, it has slight new school flavor. It's not like all, crazy with more modern hops, which I think something like Beechwood or so far Slice and some of these brews, they've been a bit more towards the new school kind of tendency. But then actually thinking of it, this isn't too far off from like Vaccinator, just that this is a bit more popping, to be honest. Vaccinator was quite good, but this just has a bit more oomph of flavor, because that's also like, it was somewhat old school West Coast, but with a bit of fruity new school flair. Man, this shows great promise for Slowburn doing West Coasters. More of that, please. More of that. Yeah, it's a total crusher. Also because it's dry and bitter. That's so refreshing to have in an IPA nowadays. This is really good. And maybe it tastes even better because we got proper glassware. My Slowburn pint glass. Yeah, this is very good. Even it doesn't exactly remind me of like Pliny, because it's got a bit too much fruity flavor. Maybe double dry hop Pliny, because I had that. I have some of these West Coast bangers fresh in my mind because I had them not too long ago. But I'd say it just leans more to what I remember from, when Stone was doing a more, as I said, the Ruin 10s and all this, like enjoy by or Slice for that sake, like old school with a slightly new school twist. But yeah, really, really good, really good. Rating, it's not like it's close to world class, but not exactly all the way there. I think I'm going 93. I think it's really good. It's just like, I think the only like nitpicking things, like it is to the sweeter side. It has enough dryness to disrupt the sweetness, which is nice, but it is a bit sweet. It has a little bit of like sweeter malt flavors and whatnot. I would like a little bit maybe more unique hop flavor for it to go higher as well. Again, if you threw in Nelson or maybe even like Rakau or some of these hops that a lot of brewers are using now in New England IPAs, I think those can work fantastically in a West Coast too. Even like Mosaic, just to get that like kind of bright blueberry note and whatnot. I just in general in IPAs nowadays, I just want some brightness. The combo of stuff like this, or just like when it's juicy and whatever, just that it has a little bit of brightness. But yeah, this is really good. So yeah, 93, fantastic double West Coast double IPA. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try Slowburn's King Sequoia, let me know what you thought of it. If not, get on it. This is really good. Drink it while this is fresh. And yeah, we got a bit of blooming coming soon. We'll see when I get around to cracking it, but looking forward to it. So if you guys had a chance to try this one, let me know what you thought of it. If you haven't checked out Slowburn, please do so. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in delicious double IPA, and see you guys in another beer review.